This is a tutorial on a high-low game we call Addie's game. And what I've done is dealt out 8 hands. These are the table cards in the way they're faced. I'm going to show you the hands and then I'll explain how the game is played. So, hand number 1. Hand number 2 showing a pair of 6s. And number 3, remember a high-low game. These are high-low games, so it's always good to have a ace-deuce. Almost always gives you a good start. The next hand, pair of 3s, a few diamonds. You see those cards. Another ace-deuce, a pair of deuces, 10-jack. And finally, the 8th hand, which would be my hand that I'd be playing. So now you've looked at your cards, you make a decision as to whether or not you want to stay. And the first cards are open. Now here's how this game is played. You start with opening 1 card on the top and 1 card on the bottom. Now in this game, you use 2 cards in your hand, only 2 cards in your hand. Now is a bet, and it's a decision for you whether or not you want to continue to play. As I showed you as we went around, you saw 2 ace-deuces, which always in a high-low game is indicative that you have a very strong possibility of winning. And of course, if you both have the same hand, then you would share the low portion of the hand. So those are the first cards that are open. Then a second card from the bottom and the top are open. A series of bets are made. And you decide whether you stay or not. Look at this hand. My hand, I got 3 8s and a 9 and a jack on the bottom, so there's good possibilities. Anyway, the way this goes is you use 2 cards in your hand, 1 from the bottom row, 1 from the top row, and you must use the middle. This card must be used in your hand. So after those cards are open, then the next bet, a 7 on the top, king on the bottom. Of course, the bets have increased by now, and the ones with the aces and the deuces are going to be betting the maximum. And then, of course, it comes down to this last card, which is, wow, oh my goodness, that nullifies the aces for the low and makes a whole different picture here of how and who would win the high and win the low. That's really interesting. So there's a straight with the queen, king, ace. So a 10-jack, if somebody has it, because you use 2 cards on the bottom and 1 here, or 2 cards on the top, but you must use the middle card. So here, over here, look at that hand. He had an ace-deuce. His low got wiped out, but he has the straight to the king, to the ace, rather. It changes the whole hand around. So who would win the low hand? Deuce 3 is what the the nut is. Wow. And look at this hand. 3 sevens. But you see, you can only use 2 cards here and 1 in the middle. And only 2 in his hand. So he gets 3 sevens. He can't use the ace in this game. Again, we call it Addie's game. It's either 2 cards from the top, 2 cards from the bottom, and the middle card must be played.